The Bitcoin ETF has been approved, but here is what they are not telling you. The Bitcoin ETF, it's only a small part of the entire picture. And we're going to break down the math behind the Bitcoin ETF and why it's so big and so important and how much the price can pump because of the Bitcoin ETF, what some of those estimates are actually looking like, and why that's only a tiny part of the picture, why you're not being told the whole story and what the whole story is, because it's absolutely insane when you start to realize what the heck is actually going on here. It's nuts. And probably no one is nearly bullish enough for what is coming. It's crazy. Strap in. Let's do it. Okay, so first, let's talk about the reality. The Bitcoin ETF, it's here. It's approved. It's going to start trading on U.S. markets imminently. In the next hour or so, probably from the time we upload this video, you will see spot Bitcoin ETFs. We're going to start seeing real cash inflows starting to happen. Now, why are Bitcoin ETFs important? Well, a report from Galaxy points out the key reasons: greater reach for both retail and institutional investors, most of which have stayed out of Bitcoin because it's been too hard to get, or they have been prohibited from getting or scared of getting it. Distribution through more investment channels. So basically now we're going to see financial advisors and fiduciaries and all these different wealth management services shilling Bitcoin to their customers. I love it. Greater wealth opportunity. Boomers and earlier age 59 plus hold 62% of U.S. wealth, yet only 8% of adults age 50 plus have invested in crypto versus 25% for adults 18 to 49. Huge opportunity here for unlocking new wealth to come into Bitcoin. And of course, new inheritances in the future for the millennials whose boomer parents buy or boomer grandparents buy Bitcoin ETFs and then pass them down later on. Of course, the formal recognition, legitimacy from trusted brands like this is massive. We've just got a huge, huge signal that the water's okay. Bitcoin's a normal asset that you can buy from BlackRock. That's insane. Of course, addresses all the regulatory and compliance concerns. We now have regulatory clarity for Bitcoin in the USA. That's a hard thing to just understate or to overstate how important that is. It's absolutely massive. Also, portfolio benefits and acceptance of Bitcoin as an asset class. Tax efficiencies, all the rest of the stuff. It's crazy. Huge, huge, huge news. Very big moment. Now, I mentioned Galaxy because Galaxy has given us some great moon math. So Bank of America estimates that $93 million of fresh cash moves the price of Bitcoin by 1%. Galaxy Digital gives a possible potentially conservative estimate of new cash inflows into Bitcoin thanks to the ETF. $14 billion in year one, $26.2 billion in year two, and $38.6 that's cumulative by year three. Now, I've seen wild ranges in the estimates. Standard Chartered Bank saying we could have $100 billion coming to Bitcoin next year. That's a big estimate. Big if true. Others, some major ETF analysts saying we could even see 50 billion this year. How much does that actually move the price? Well, obviously, look, this math here is very much subject to wild moves in the markets. As price goes up, new Bitcoin enters circulation, might have been held for years, all that kind of stuff. So there's a very elastic flow here to the numbers we're talking about. This is just rough moon math, okay? Rough moon math. Assuming Galaxy is right and that $1 billion is going to basically equal 11% gains. So every 93 million, according to Bank of America, moves the price 1%. Galaxy's saying this is the inflows we're going to get. So year one, 158% gains. It's 125,000 Bitcoin from around the current price. Year two, 291% gains. That brings up to $180,000 from the current price. That's in 2025. And again, if Galaxy's inflow numbers are correct, then we have 424% gains from here up to $250,000 approximately in 2026. Not bad. Not bad. I'll take 400% gains on my Bitcoins. I dig it. Now, these are the kind of gains, of course, would also be in line with the gains that were put in by gold once its ETF was launched. So there's precedent for these kind of moves to happen. Now, the flip side is what if Galaxy is just not being bullish enough? What if, like the analysts at Standard Chartered, are more in line with what reality is going to be, and we're going to see 1,000%. 1,000% gains. Bitcoin's going to $500,000 in the next 2 or 3 years. That could also happen. Bullish, right? Very, very big potential with all this new cash flooding in. But the Bitcoin ETF is only a small part of the picture. I hear again Eric Balkunis saying that they could see 50 billion within 2 years. Kathy Wood saying that they're out. She's the CEO of ARK Invest, one of the guys who just got the Bitcoin ETF approved, saying that we're talking to state pension funds and state treasurers about investing in Bitcoin ETFs. It's coming. An avalanche of money that you can't imagine is coming. And it doesn't happen overnight. Oh, but it's coming. Watch out. Now, before we get into the big story here, because this is just a small part, a very exciting part of the story, a new part of the story, a new chapter in Bitcoin's history, but just a small part. What we have to discuss next, even had the Bitcoin ETF never been approved, Bitcoin was still going to hundreds of thousands of dollars and $1 million one day because of everything I have to tell you next. Before we do that, I just want to let you know, if you're not signed with the Wealth Master newsletter, you got to get checked out. Best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency industry. Every single issue jam-packed full of alpha. We talk about DeFi. We talk about altcoins. We have altcoin alpha, altcoin news, deep dive altcoin reports, tutorials, NFT mints, airdrops. It's crazy. You got to check it out. Best damn newsletter in the industry, read by over 100,000 people every single week. You can start getting it for free to your inbox by clicking on the link down below in the description. Thank you. What's the big story here? The big story is that U.S. markets are important and the Bitcoin ETF is important. And it's a major once-in-a-generation liquidity event, but it's only a small part of the story. And everybody's been so focused on the Bitcoin ETF, they've forgotten the rest of the story. Middle East is coming up. Now we have the M2 crypto exchange, which is launched, basically providing a major gateway for Middle Eastern Gulf Arab oil state money to come into Bitcoin. That's one thing. That's a lot of money. We even have rumors like this that Qatar could be looking to make serious Bitcoin purchases. Now, some people have said, oh, $500 billion is probably too much. But even if they buy a few $1 billion of the Bitcoin, it's a massive bet from their sovereign wealth fund. Now, to be clear, sovereign wealth funds are already buying Bitcoin. Singapore's sovereign wealth fund has been buying Bitcoin for a while. And we know for a fact that the UAE and Oman are both mining Bitcoin, state level mining by the government, mining Bitcoin already. Seeing Qatar buy Bitcoin with their sovereign wealth fund will be in line with what we're already seeing in the Middle East. They got a lot of money, man. They got a lot of money, those Gulf states. So I wouldn't fade that at all. And of course, the Saudis could find, I know it's a meme in crypto. Saudis are max bidding. Yeah, they might actually start max bidding soon. Watch out. Watch out. And then there's Hong Kong. This is the next part of the story. You see, well, U.S. markets have got a lot of attention, and for very good reason. Hong Kong is coming. See, Hong Kong made moves earlier in 2023 than America started making. They started approving all these different exchanges and forcing banks to work with the companies and all this kind of stuff. Now, the regulators said, let's do spot Bitcoin ETFs. Let's do spot Ethereum ETFs. Let's get the applications in. So I would guess that in the next month or two, maybe 3 months, we're going to see spot Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong as well. And you might think, well, Hong Kong, Lark, why does that matter? It's just some little city in East Asia, man. What's that matter? Hong Kong is a special administrative region of China. And as such, Hong Kong is China's financial window on the world. Mainland money, which is significant, flows through Hong Kong. And you know what's crazy is that despite all the crackdowns in China, despite all the stuff that's going on with government trying to keep people out of crypto, China is one of the absolute biggest crypto markets on earth still. All these like BRC20 tokens, these Bitcoin tokens, and all these different inscriptions and things that are happening on chain right now, a lot of that's in China. A lot of that's in China right now. People are going insane over it currently. Big exchange listings still happen for Chinese specific markets. Like they've never gone away. It just sometimes it's harder for Chinese people to YOLO into the market, and sometimes it's not as hard. But this ETF product in China, in Hong Kong, would be massive. Because guess what? The Chinese are looking and they're saying, holy crap, the Americans are doing the spot Bitcoin ETFs. BlackRock and those other guys are going to get total control of the markets. We need to stake our claim. And they're already behind. They're already behind. You better hurry up, Hong Kong. Come on, man. You guys are behind the ball already. Step it up. Here's an interesting one. CC15 Capital posted this. I liked the idea. Gold right now, it's a big one. Now he says history of gold. It's a gold ETF. So right now it's got like about 60 billion sitting in it currently. But here's the thing. What if some of that money moves over to Bitcoin? How long are people going to stay in gold? I mean, gold, yeah, gold, okay, cool, whatever. But like, man, it's kind of boring. It doesn't really do very much. Whereas you're looking at Bitcoin ETFs right now, and you're going, man, those could like 5 to 10x. Like, when's gold gonna 5 to 10x? Is gold gonna 5x by like the year 2200? I don't know. The year 2100 is gonna be a while, man. We're not gonna be here by the time gold is a 5x. Holy crap. Maybe I'll be like 90. Oh, gold's finally done a 5x. Bitcoin, on the other hand, could do a 5x in the next 18 months, 24 months. So if you're a gold investor, you're holding gold ETFs, like, what's the incentive? What's the incentive at this point? You're underperforming basically everything everywhere. Why not take some of that money and put it into Bitcoin? And I guarantee some of that money will come into Bitcoin. How much? I don't know. This guy's saying 10 to 20%. If it's 10 to 20%, that's $5 to $10 billion, which is very significant. That moves the price quite a lot. Quite a lot. That moves the price 50 to 100% more. We shall see. I like it, though. And it's a global phenomenon right now. You have to understand Bitcoin. I know we've been so focused on the Bitcoin ETF and US markets and all this kind of stuff, but man, oh man, it is a global phenomenon right now. Turkey's banking giant go big on crypto as legislation looms. So AK Bank, for example, is getting into it. To Guarantee BBVA getting into it. All the big banks get into it. Brazil's largest bank, Itaú Unibanco, launches crypto trading services. Look, we've seen a few dozen of these stories in the last 12 to 18 months of big banks launching crypto trading, crypto buying, crypto selling, crypto custody services. The on-ramps have never been bigger in crypto. And I know, again, Bitcoin ETF, really, really big, really, really massive. But like, you cannot discount all these other things. Like Brazil's largest bank now lets you buy Bitcoin. You just go and buy the real deal, not the dirty ETFs from BlackRock. That's money. That's money. That's what that is. And retail investors have been non-stop buying as well. We've seen an increase in address balances with greater than 0.01 BTC dramatically since the bottom of the market, going from 10 all the way up to almost 13 million addresses. So over 2 million new addresses added, which is a very big number because that means this is regular people buying Bitcoin. This isn't like big institutions and stuff. This is a dude who's putting in 20 bucks a week because that's all he can afford. And he hopes for a better damn future than the grinding poverty or the tough life of working 2 jobs and trying to raise your 2 or 3 kids and pay the bills and hoping to God you don't get a flat tire. Bitcoin is hope for these people. And we've seen steady accumulation for these smaller accounts. And it's very encouraging because it means that Bitcoin is becoming an unstoppable global movement. And it's very exciting to see. Very, very exciting to see indeed. And then, of course, it's Bitcoin halving year, guys. Don't forget. Holy crap. As if all the rest of this wasn't exciting enough, Bitcoin halving is happening in less than 4 months. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's going to be big. It's going to be a big year for Bitcoin 2024. I mean, look, expect volatility, expect craziness, but the Bitcoin halving is coming. And in every cycle previously, a Bitcoin halving has signaled a new phase in the market, a new massive bull market starting basically from the time of every Bitcoin halving previously. Prices just go up with lots of down in between, but up overall. The Bitcoin ETF is front running that a bit with massive liquidity injections, and there's going to be volatility, but the Bitcoin halving is coming. By the end of the year, we could see Bitcoin prices significantly higher than they are right now. Look, I know I keep saying it, but it's important to keep repeating so that everybody understands this is a once in a market, once in a lifetime liquidity event happening, and you're here for it. Be excited. Enjoy what's happened yesterday with the approval of that Bitcoin ETF. It's a big moment for the market, and it's a big moment for crypto overall, Bitcoin overall. The liquidity that's going to come is going to be insane. Just get ready. Don't screw it up, guys. Remember, play it safe out there. All right, I'll see you in the next video.